grin on my face.
Say hello to the camera.
Hello to the camera.
Go on then.
What?
Here we are.
Well, here we are, just coming up to 75 miles short of Edinburgh. This is where we come round to do our filming for our new DVD. I hope you all enjoy the DVD when it comes out. And I'll enjoy the drive while the sun's shining. That's it.
Yep, shining it is at last.
So you talk about caveman training and stuff. You look over to the right there, you can see the sea. I'll just get out of the way. A nice, pleasant countryside.
Yep.
Before we get to the tortuous parts of Scotland.
Go on then, you're on about caveman diets.
Yeah, I don't know really what to say though. I mean, the caveman diet, we're talking about carbohydrates and stuff.
Yep. And the fact that they never supposedly ate any and only lived off meat and fats.
Well, the whole principle of the caveman diet, in my opinion, is that in the caveman days, there were days and weeks where you'd go without having any meat, and there were also times where you had extreme gluts of meat, where you caught your dinosaur or your saber-toothed tiger or whatever, and you had to eat it at a certain amount of time. And so, if you look at the average week of hunting, it would be very similar to the Aborigines and people in these other countries now, where in the morning you get up and you feed with something like that's easy to handle, like fruits and berries, and maybe some, if you're lucky, maybe some roots and things, and some carbohydrates, but mostly fruits and berries. So you're getting your energy levels up, ready for your day out hunting. Now sometimes people would be lucky and catch something on the way through, but other times you could possibly go your whole day foraging for more extra pieces of energy, like your beans and carbs and stuff from fruits. But then hopefully at the end of the day you catch your meat for the day or for the week, if you're lucky enough to catch something big. So you eat there, and they used to eat and use as much of the animal that they caught as possible. So you save the wool for pelts, etc., as you see on these sort of survival type programs. But the meat was used and eaten and enjoyed quickly, so as not to attract other wild animals and stuff like that. And that's how, I mean, that's basically how it is. So if you look at things like the keto type diets, in effect they actually did work in those days, but without the huge weeks of going into ketosis. If you have your saber-toothed tiger come in with you, you know, you got a glut of meat. You had to eat as much of it fresh as you could, and other bits you'd eat dry and save for days when you went out for further hunting. Yeah, the same with fish and the proteins from that. So you've got a lot of your meats and stuff, your proteins from fresh and dried meats. You've got a lot of your energy from things like berries and stuff. So you were getting carbs in, but you weren't getting the extremes of carbs that you see the white potatoes and stuff. What would happen is you may forage for some roots to add to your vegetables, which gave you your starches, which is effectively what we're talking about with the carbs and ketosis.
So basically what you're saying is they were still eating quite a large amount of carbohydrates. The difference being that all the carbohydrates they ate were slow-acting carbohydrates.
The majority of them were slow-acting carbohydrates. The fruits and berries had sugars in them, which gave you your burst of energy, which is why they were generally eaten early in the mornings, pre-hunting. But the thing with all the carbohydrates and the fats that you have, they were used as energy in a much more rich way. So you were, it's like the Eskimos. An Eskimo, you know, they eat all this whale blubber and all the fats from all these types of products, and they don't suffer with the same saturated fat type related diseases of today, because the majority of what they were using and taking in was being burnt up and used as an extra source while they were in ketosis. So what we look at today in ketosis is the fat burning part of it.
Yeah.
But if you look at the energy burning part altogether, ketosis or what we know as ketosis now is also the input of fats that you're eating throughout the day. So if you're an Eskimo and you have to eat 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day just to survive, you can eat that in fat because the fat levels are burning up anyway, and it's a very quickly converted source of energy.
So one of the biggest problems that people have now with high fat diets is the simple fact then that they're actually not moving around enough.
They're not utilising the fats
and
enough.
this is why they're actually struggling with the diets.
Yes, exactly. I mean, in a large percentage, a lot of people nowadays, I mean, the fatter people, not necessarily bodybuilders or weight training people or whatever, the problem that they have is that they have extreme gluts of things. Like my wife likes potatoes. She enjoys eating potatoes. Me, I don't like potatoes, so it doesn't worry me too much. But she likes sweet potatoes, or where we live in Portugal now, everyone has big plates of bread with their diets, and you're getting a lot of very, very pale carbohydrates in you, and they are not used up effectively. If you use slow-release carbohydrates and you have something where your energy level, if you knew you were not going to eat for large amounts of the day, then slow-release carbohydrates are a necessity. Or if you were a marathon runner, off on. If you knew you were a marathon runner, for example, they need to have a constant supply of energy. So it needs to be slow-burning energy that they have. But going back to the ketosis side of things, because people were asking about that recently on the forum. Ketosis should still be about, or the keto diet should be about taking in good, healthy sources of protein, good, healthy sources of green vegetables and leafy vegetables, because you still need to get essential vitamins and minerals into the body. You also need to be looking and thinking about your fats. Now, there are levels of good fats, omega-3s, 6s, etc. And then you have what everyone looks at as the saturated fats. There's nothing wrong with the saturated fats that you have in healthy fats, healthy beef. Beef fat is great, that type of fat there is nothing wrong with that in your diet. The problem is that they people seem to think that as soon as you go onto a keto-based diet, you can eat fried bacon and
processed junk.
Yeah, exactly. There was one person recently who was talking about pork scratchings in their diet. Now, I like a pork scratching or two in a pint, but that's not me trying to be in ketosis. That's just me being a pig, generally. But that's basically what these people think they're doing. They think
swapping one comfort food for another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the whole process all the time. It's just, in my opinion, is where they miss out the whole principle of it.
And you could say that same thing that's being said for a lot of the books that are being written, because they keep going back to the caveman style diet, and you read the books and it's basically just fats and protein.
Yeah.
And I would probably say excessive amounts of protein that they're suggesting that people eat.
But the excessive amounts of the wrong sorts of protein are the problem nowadays as well. People are taking in different areas of it. You have the problem with all of these things is that moderation is the key to everything, in my opinion. So there's nothing wrong with if you want to go into ketosis, then you have to follow a fairly strict level, and you have to balance it out, and you have to use your keto sticks and stuff to see if you're in ketosis, etc. But once you're there, in the caveman days, it was something that would last. You would have to be awfully unlucky to not be able to catch some meat and stuff, or so you would be in ketosis while you had your meat there. You would be eating a glut of meats and stuff. But the rest of the time, when you were out and you needed to work around your food levels, or you had time to farm and as later on, not farm, but scavenge for roots and greens and vegetables and things. There was enough starch coming in from things like certainly in the African type countries and the jungles and stuff. You used to get your yams and your roots that way. From Brazil, you get cassava and things like that.
Well, even over here, they used to eat rushes, the roots from the rushes.
Here, there are masses and masses of roots that are usable. I mean, we look at carrots and things now, and there's a grown and harvested vegetable, but they had to come from somewhere. Okay, I mean, some were brought in, the potato, etc., were brought in from other countries, but we had other roots that were available then, and we learned how to use them. The Ray Mears section of videos and
Excellent.
stuff have some very good pointers, and it would be great to be able to use some of the things that were around vegetable wise to add to the flavours that we miss out now, and things like salt in the diet, for example. Most of the vegetables, most green vegetables, carry enough salt. The problem is that the body has got so used to additional salts that we crave them. So when they're not there, we want extra salt in our body. Once our body has been neutralised again and then gone back to a level, as soon as you start cutting out the refined salts and start listening to your body and the vegetables that you're eating, you taste the vegetables more. You taste the flavour in the vegetables, and that gives you your salts. That's my opinions and the very loose basis of my theories on diets in general, or on that side of diets. But I think if a good healthy moderation of food is the best way. You over-proteinate. Bodybuilders are stuck in this idea that you need masses and masses of protein to build muscle. Yes, you do need protein, and you do need complete proteins, and you need to get your amino acid build-ups quite, you need to get a good balance of aminos within your diet, but you don't need to overcompensate by stuffing full of additional protein drinks and things like that to get your levels up. Everything that you buy in a packet is a supplement. It supplements your diet. You don't have to have the vitamins or the minerals. You should be able to get them from your fish, or from your vegetables and your fruits. Your omega-3s and 6s of oils you can pick up from seeds, grains, and fish. And if you have a balanced diet, then you should be getting enough fish to do that. It's the same as the old bodybuilders, the old strongmen, eating pounds and pounds of steak and stuff. It wasn't so much for the protein that they needed this, it was for the creatine in it. They didn't know that at the time, so you're getting huge, big, rich steaks of meat when you were getting your 5 grams of creatine within 1 or 2 steaks during the day. Things like milk. Again, we're not just looking at the protein content of milk, we're looking at the fat content of milk, and the fat content of milk is what the strongmen actually used.
And also the slow burning sugars.
And the slow burning sugars, the lactose in there.
The difference being though with the milk, theirs wasn't processed as ours is. Theirs were just raw.
You can buy raw milk, but it's an expensive luxury, and we miss out. But there's nothing wrong with taking in, milk or cream. I mean, Vince Gironda's
his high-fat diet.
One of those things, exactly.
Yeah.
A high-fat diet. There's a contradiction in terms, really, isn't it?
Well, it is.
But they worked.
He went on the basic principle of that you needed fats to digest protein.
Yeah.
Because in nature they come together.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends that have looked at, when you talk about things like that, food combining diets and things, and I think there's an extreme of these things. If you look at how people used to eat in the old days, you had the balance of the foods. The foods were digested the way they were taken in, the way they were digested, just because of the nature of the way that people used to hunt and gather food. If you look at the African diet, which is largely pulses and grains, they have a very fast pass-through rate of digestion, whereas the average Western is something around 16 hours or 18 hours from mouth to
Toilet.
Thank you. The African diet is somewhere between less than 6 hours on average.
That's a big difference.
But that is also a largely grained diet. Then there's also the problem that we have of a lack of fluids. We know no one takes in anywhere near enough fluid. A lot of the overweight people are very underhydrated, mainly when they feel hungry. What they're actually feeling is the thirst. The dehydration is calling for them to have water.
But a lot of them would argue the fact that they get the liquids in through
but this is the thing that they do. They get their liquids in through eating a steak, and they get their liquids in through having a cup of tea with a biscuit, and they get their liquids in through having a sponge cake, which is 50% or 30% water and fluids. Because of those things, that's where they're getting their hydration from, and fizzy pops and things like that.
But then again, they're just, in that sense, they are taking in some fluids, but because they're adding a food source to it, especially a carbohydrate source, it's drawing water out of the body that it needs to digest it and store the carbohydrates.
Your average can of Red Bull contains more caffeine in it than the average coffee and stuff like that. So you're taking in the amount of liquid that is in a can of Red Bull, then you're taking out of that the sugar levels that you have in there, and the caffeine, which is a diuretic. It's a diuretic, yeah, exactly. So you're killing one and then taking it. You're giving with one and taking it back straight away.
So you're looking at a 1 step forward, 2 step back scenario.
Exactly. With most drinks like that. Even if people say, "Oh, but I drink the juices," well, I drink a lot of fruit juice. I like fruit juice, but it's the fibre in there. There's the fructose in there. It's a very high sugar-based drink.
Also high in potassium.
Yeah. But with the sugars from that, it's fructose. Fructose breaks down differently in the body to other sugars as well, so it's not supplying the body the same way, which is a different part of it. But going back to the hydration, if the average, they say you should be trying to get 2 litres of water a day, but the average person should be probably near 3.5 litres of water a day if they're a moderately active person. At one stage when I was in Portugal, when we first went over there, I went through a stage of making a point of drinking 5 litres of water a day. It was hard work in the start, and I was going to the loo a lot. But after about the 3rd day, I was definitely not going to the loo as much as I was when I started. I was still going regularly because the water has to still pass through the body. But I felt better from it, felt cleaner. I was certainly less affected by the overall heat in the country that at the time was about 30 degrees Celsius most days, and I was working out and training with clients that whole time, and that 5 litres of water a day was quite necessary, so it's another area that people should be looking at and thinking about, whether they're certainly in a keto style diet. That fluid will help you and stop you getting so bunged and stuff. You're getting enough fats to be
regular.
Yes, thank you. Very regular.
But that's another thing as well. You find that because sports people, shall we say, take in such large amounts of food, especially protein, the requirements for fluid, water, are going to be even higher by a long way, maybe even half as much as what regular Joe Blogg does.
Half as much again, yeah.
So if Joe Blogg is dehydrated, how many sports people out there are dehydrated?
Certainly the people that are not trained and not. If you look at the average football team now, they're all weighed pre-training and they're all weighed after training to make sure, certainly when they're training in higher climates. When they had the Euro 2004 in Portugal, because it was that much hotter, they were very, very careful about fluid levels and hydration. So they were weighing people at the start of training and weighing people at the end of training, and if they didn't weigh the same, or they didn't hydrate enough through that, they were fined because they knew that the hydration part of it was so important. So if you know, you should be thinking much more about hydration. If you feel hungry, drink some water,
and then see whether or not you feel hungry after.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are hungry, then obviously have something to eat.
I mean, the average person knows roughly that they need to eat every few hours, with small amounts, just to maintain their blood sugar levels. But if you stay hydrated, you can see a lot of people in Portugal, particularly because it's a hot country, that don't drink enough water. When they come around to having lunch, are starving, and they eat without being rude. Like pigs, and I don't mean that nastily, but they're ravenous. They stuff food down their throats, and the reason largely is that they are dehydrated. They feel so hungry that they need to eat. But what their body is saying is that I need to eat this meat because it's the only way you're going to give me the fluid that I need to survive. So if they in 9 or 10 out of 50% at least are dehydrated, and that's what they need the food for. I have a friend over there who doesn't train at all, but he works in a very hot climate, in a very hot conditions inside big air conditioning units. On an average day during the summer, he will drink 6 or 7 litres of water a day, just through dehydration, or just through the fact that he's dehydrated. And in some stages, you're working out like that, and you stop sweating, and you know if you stop sweating, your body can't cool down, and the reason for that is that he's dehydrated. So it's and that's 6 litres of water, and this is a guy that weighs 9.5 stone.
So we're looking at 130 to 140 maximum, in pounds.
Yeah.
So what do if you're taking in all this extra water, what do you think to the idea that some people put things like sea salt into the water, small pinches, to help
you need
absorb the water so that the body holds it better, but also to replace what they're losing through perspiration?
But there's two parts of that story as well. If you are consuming 6 litres or 7 litres of water a day, then because you're sweating it out, then you're losing an awful lot of body salts within that 6 or 7 litres of water. So you have to plan you have to add or allow, certainly, for mineral salts. These are why these the Lucozade style or Powerade style drinks do actually work. They do help the body. Another friend of mine who's in the Royal Marines, captain in the Royal Marine Commandos, was involved with a big test with his troop on hydration through their workouts, through their training, and they tried various styles of drinks, whether it's Powerade or Lucozade and stuff like that, and the ones that had the best pH balance for regaining your fluids worked and improved on the people's backgrounds, on their training. So it's definitely something that is important, something that it should be looked at very regularly, hydration and adding mineral salts to it. But I mean, the average person, if you're just trying to consume 5 litres of water a day, or 3 litres of water a day, you probably don't need the extra salts. You're getting it in within a good, normal, balanced diet. But if you're sweating out 5 or 6 litres of water a day, and you're needing to consume 7 or 8 litres to keep yourself buffed up with water, then you definitely need to add some salts into that.
So when would you say really adding the salts? Pre-workout or post-workout? Morning or before bed?
Yes, it's a difficult one, and again it boils down to what you're consuming and when. If you're the average person, you're working out, you probably don't need to add many salts to it. If you have particularly high cardio-based workouts, and stuff, then I would say you need to have them during an electrolyte drink during your workout to top up your electrolytes. But if you are working, the average person, if you're not good at sweating out and you're trying to consume just your 3 litres of water a day to keep yourself balanced, then your best bet is to try and keep a normal level of drink fluids without adding anything else. You'll find that your normal diet will bring in those mineral salts during the day. If you're working out, then again, just take an electrolyte drink with you for training. You need to have a pinch of salt and a tiny pinch of potassium, or again, you can get your energy levels through a banana or something which is high in potassium, and benefit from it that way.
So when we're talking salt, we're actually talking sea salt, not table salt.
You're talking mineral salts. Yeah, I mean, you can a pinch of table salt will do just as it's sodium you're trying to get into your body, and table salt is sodium based anyway. So you can, if you have a pinch of a tub of table salt and a tub of low table salt, use a pinch of one, half a pinch of the other to mix up a large amount of drink, and that will get you pretty much covered with what you need to be consuming. I don't know what this is all about, so I don't know where I'm going actually. Well, I'm going to the rest stop. Oh well. That was a bit strange.
Slight detour there.
Very slight detour.
Roadworks messing everything up as usual. And here we are, just crossing in to a foreign country.
Yep.
Welcome to Scottyland.
Yep.
Or should I say Scotland?
Well, that was different, a little bit of a detour there. Yeah, so most low salt is made up with a high percentage of potassium. Most table salt is high sodium. So if you have a little bit of one, then you should be okay.
When you do it like that, yeah, I mean you're nice and balanced, I think.
Which leg do you feel when you're doing it uses the most? If you do it that way, because my left knee is worse than my right knee.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember if you had pain.
I don't know if I'd use my right. Yeah. Be a better way.
I mean the alternative, which is the way I've been doing, is straddle like that, and one behind, and you get upright, and then you lift. Right. And you find the one at the back, it lifts up and then it kind of swings across until your arm is straight, and then you lift with this one here, you lift up and you try and stand up straight with the legs.
And they weigh what? Just remind me.
That's 413 pounds, and that's 300.
That's my 200. That's my deadlift. That's my best deadlift.
And that's 324. And
Go on, Steve.
the problem with that is it's such a small ring.
Yeah.
It really cuts into your hand.
Yeah. Are they the actual exact same diameters for
Same,
both?
the same diameters, same thickness, and the same height off the ground.
Show me same size. You've got quite a long hand by comparison to. Was it? Yeah, I know what you was. Who was it? Oh no, someone I was talking to in Portugal. Really short, stubby fingers. And they were saying about pulling that everything pulls open. But
Yeah. Well, I've started using a hook grip with these.
you weren't going to originally.
I wasn't going to, but I can do it with a hook grip, so I'm going to stick with a hook grip. I find my right arm's weakened a wee bit since I had the tennis elbow. I just
Have you strapped that? Have you tried strapping it?
Yeah, I've used them when I've been lifting these.
Have you got any? I'll show you the best way to strap it.
Right.
Which we should help if you use like zinc oxide tape and stuff.
Is that where you actually pull it
You
across?
use a double band, one here, tape down here to hold this tight, and one around the wrist here.
Yeah, what kind of tape? I've got
Zinc oxide tape, a duct tape, gas tape. They're just that small.
Yeah, I'll shave my arms tonight.
Well, no, that's part of the fun. He's ripping it off.
Yeah, tell me about it. I found out when I did it for mine, when I was strapping mine up last year.
So your missus running over to say something.
possibly.
Okay, go on. I'll let it down quietly. It says record.
And
Alright,
practicing cold.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to budge that. Not left-handed anyway.
I'll try right then.
It will come up. You just have to stick with it and just.
Oh, if I've warmed.
Aye. Well, that's it. You're doing it cold.
And I haven't, like I say, I'm making excuses, but I haven't lifted for long.
That going. Nice
Don't
one.
think we can manage two together. Mind you, we're doing this cold and you've had some practice at it.
Oh, aye.
Right arm was the one. This is the actual weight, is it?
That is the actual weight.
Well listen, if I lift these, we'll go straight up there, regardless.
Oh, aye.
That one will come up. That's it, I'm not going anymore.
Is that it?
That's it for me. I did that way, didn't I? I've got to do this with steps. Some chicken.
No, I prefer to start lower.
Well, yeah, I would normally, but
It's a back one, innit? The full weight.
That's the problem. You end up doing like a side bend with it.
Now this is, what's this, the straddle?
That's the sort of one that this isn't the one I use.
this is one you decided not to use.
Yeah. Just because of my back.
I still can't lift that.
It's an awkward lift because it's unbalanced, and because
Completely.
this one is so low to the ground, well, low up, that you end up.
You're lifting that,
You
then
lift
you've
that
got to
high,
bring this in.
aye, and then you've got to do.
Yeah.
You've got to lift it and do almost like a side bend.
Yeah, I can feel it down this side.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that technique is almost like it's like a deadlift.
Yeah.
And you've got to watch your shoulder. If your shoulder's too low, you can't shrug it up.
Yeah.
And you just end up doing that. So what I've been trying is I've been driving it to get my shoulder back.
But you're putting your hips straight much better than I can as well.
Just try and get straight under it,
Yeah.
and then just go up to that, try and get it up, and then go like that. I go like that, and then try and get
Problem I find if I put my hips in, my knee goes straight away. Which, even when I was saying to Cookie earlier, when we're deadlifting, it's that knee. So I start off with a nice-ish looking deadlift, but by the time I start to move it, this leg starts to go, and I sort of come up in a really strange looking.
Yeah.
What do you want off of this then? How's it unfolding? Now that pulls you right off balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whichever one. Oh, I'll try that. No, because that weight pulls you off balance and your sensor's up.
I thought it would work because I'm lifting with bottles at home,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
No,
they're balanced.
It's a different feel to it completely.
Yeah.
Because the heavier weight, regardless, is just pulling you off balance the whole time. Really tough. Go on, Stevie boy. There we go. So it's still got 51 minutes left on here. Come on.
That's it, come on.
No, chalk.
Recording. That's it. Recording.
No, it's all right.
That's it.
Go on.
Nice one. Take it towards you.
Yeah, I'll do that one. Last time I did this, I've got someone strapped up with my hand out. That's perfect.
Is that right?
Yep, great.
Let's go.
Get the weight.
Oh, come on. Up.
Come on.
Come on.
Psychologically, that one feels heavy at the moment.
Physically, it's heavier as well.
Would a slap right face work?
Yeah, let me try
Hey,
that.
you want smelling salts?
Come on, I'm here holding camera in pain.
That's 150.
150.
Wait, I'll double check. 24, 60, 80, 100.
I did it just
10,
now.
20. That's 150. And 80.
Spartans having fun.
100. 115. 115 and 150.
I tell you, this is around that I need to be there. This one I can lift with your technique.
Oh, your hand.
Oh, nice, that's right. Yeah, this one's easy. This is going up there.
Nearly. On.
Oh yeah, right.
Let's go.
Come on, this one's going up this time.
Round 2. Sam the man.
I was just waiting for Scott to get here, really.
Yeah. Oh, he's going through all this. Go on.
Come on, yes, yes.
That helped. I'll go up a bit heavier then.
And the third one.
You. Missed my lift.
Fuck, I need to do it now. I can't.
Oh.
Alright, go and do it.
There.
Sure, the fucking corner.
It's alright, you can delete it all. Guys. Oh,
You right?
tired already. How's it going, guys? Ah, not so bad. Both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Here he goes.
No, this is impressive stuff.
This is heaviest ever warm up.
Just ignore all the grunts and the peens. That's all you want.
That's what we want. Yes.
Come on, man.
Yep.
They went up really easy.
Easy.
That makes my lift puts my lift to shame.
Go next. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
I need a bit of a rest for this one. Bleeding hell, Cookie, you took half an hour to have a rest between your last two.
Here we go. Come on. Hip drive. Smelling salts under his head.
Don't need it.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
You just move that one. back in line.
Yeah.
Tommy. That's my first.
What,
Just drag it across, can you?
drag it across. Yeah.
That's my next one. Put that on.
Bridge too far?
No.
That's it, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling.
No.
Oh, big pull, big pull.
Fucking hell.
Get it up, come on.
Come on.
Come on, pull it. Yeah, I'll do this stuff.
You're the man. What we got on?
15 short of the full weight.
So we're 15 kilos short of the full lift.
It's 15, 20. 20 short
20,
forward.
20
So
is
170 in the front, 135 in the back. Something like that.
And only one warm up. This is for a personal best. Come on. Go on. Up. Yes. Clear. Well clear.
Yes! That's more like it.
Question is now, is he going to go for full lot?
Nah, I can do that. Give me a minute.
Let your ATP stores come back.
Aye.
Right. Well, Scotty's come all this way.
Aye.
I think Scotty should do.
Fast for that, isn't it, brother? So
It's
that's
192.
192.
192. And that's slightly lighter.
Stuff it, I'm not counting. What's a couple of kilos between friends?
As long as it's over the diddy weight, don't matter.
No. Unofficial dinner lift.
With little bird sitting on top of it as well.
Come on.
No.
That moved.
That moved. I don't know if the back got off the ground, but the
The bottom was swaying as if it were.
yeah.
Right, give me a second. I'll drag it.
Tell you what though, get down there, get low,
Yeah,
and see it so we can make sure it's off the ground. That'd
Yeah.
be good.
no problem.
Yeah, it must be getting better because I'm not blacking out as much as I used to.
I know the feeling when I came out after that top one of mine, it were all stars.
I normally just see stars and everything just spins.
Oh, I wasn't so bad with these lifts. When we did the farmer's walk that
Yeah.
time, when I finished there, and I did it with a heart rate monitor on, and my heart rate shot up. It was like 180 or something. Oh no, it wasn't. It was higher than that.
About 189.
189 it was,
Yeah.
and then I felt short stars.
Yeah. I think it's the pull. The heavier it gets, the longer it takes to pull. I just run out of oxygen.
Yeah.
Right, I feel good. I feel great. might want to lie on the ground for this one.
Oh, you worry.
Go on. Go now. Up, clear. Go on.
Not today, not today.
Look clear to me.
It's moving around like it's clear. The front one is definitely the one
Moving.
that's,
The back one's alright.
if it's nothing, it's nothing more than an eighth of an inch that's not coming out. A tiny, tiny bit, if not at all. I reckon it's off.
That's alright for a third set. You
Yeah.
know? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
This is Scott with a 230 stone for a lift.
Yeah, that's it. Good. That's it.
Fucking hell, that's heavy.
Well, I could do it like that.
Is that it? Who's next? That's heavy.
Stevie's attempt. Steve will use proper technique, clean it to the lap, and then chuck it up onto his shoulder.
That ain't going.
Yes! That's rectangular stones, so what's the ways to hold on to it? There's the What?
You're going to try this one?
You can deadlift more than this.
Oh, let me have a go.
Oh, yes, no.
Oh, I'm injured, guys, I'm injured. Battle scars.
Yeah.
Oh, I can feel the old midges out already.
Yeah.
Oh, my knees are going to get lovely.
I'll take watch off. And this is supposed to come onto my knees.
I would say if you can get it up and get it onto your knees, even if you have to bring it up to there.
Like you would an Atlas stone, take a wide grip.
Kind of squat and then squat down till it gets closer to your body, and then try and lift up and extend.
I've never lifted an Atlas stone.
No.
Bring your feet underneath it and roll it up onto your knees. You have wide grip, wide stance with the knees. That's it. Not.
Two more.
What? Hey.
Being bitten fucking to pieces. Why do they like legs so much?
No.
No.
Yep, that's it.
Drop down and oh no. Okay. Marks. Yeah, set. Go. Come on, Steve. Excellent. Mind my car. And the winner.
Here we have Scott using the gymnastic rings, which are a fantastic tool you can use for adding instability to your training. In the last clip you saw Scott doing a basic knee tuck, and now you're going to see me doing a basic knee tuck with a twist. You'll notice that I'm trying to keep my back down and flat whilst pulling in with the abdominals and not purely by the knees. Now by twisting to the side, what we're doing is we're increasing the tension on one side, which then throws your instability out even more, and then to balance that off we turn to the other side and do the same amount of reps again. Now Scott is going to do some basic bodyweight upright rows. Keep your elbows tucked in and drive them back. Now I'm placing a wobble cushion underneath Scott's heels just to make the exercise that little bit more harder, to create more instability and to force the muscles to work more. L upright rows. These, as with any other exercise, you want to aim to pull the elbows in close, tight and back, and to keep the legs pointing forward. Because the rings create such an unstable environment, you'll notice that we've attached some resistance bands to Scott's belt. These will help reduce the weight that is pushing through his arms and allow him to be able to do the dips. Now, just the same thing again, but without the use of the resistance bands to reduce the weight. Here you will see that I've attached a chain to the dipping belt, just to add that little bit of extra resistance on each rep. Barbell pull over and press. As you can see, Scott's taken a shoulder width grip. He's keeping his arms bent as he pulls the bar over, pressing right up to the top, lowering back down to chest level, and then with arms bent back over until the barbell touches the floor before beginning the next rep again. Bent over barbell rows, shoulder width grip, back flat and pull right into the belly button region. Now we have Scott doing a hang clean to a push press. The exercise begins with the bar hanging down at arm's length. The hips travel backwards slightly to engage the hamstrings, then you drive forward with the hips whilst at the same time shrugging the shoulders and bringing the elbows forward and up to catch the bar at shoulder level. You then dip at the knees and drive up at the same time whilst pushing the barbell overhead to finish the exercise. Here we have the same exercise sequence, but instead of the bar being from a hang position, each rep starts from the floor. Steinborn squat. Upend the bar onto its side, place one hand at the top one hand at the bottom and take a wide stance. Lean into the bar and shoulder it, dropping into a bottom squat position, and then stand up straight. Realign your feet at shoulder width apart. Do the required amount of reps and then offload the bar in the same way as which you loaded the bar, but this time to the opposite side. Bruce curls. Begin with the bar at arm's length as if doing a normal barbell curl, but go into the same position you would take as if doing a Romanian deadlift. As you start to stand up, drive the hips forward as fast as possible and then curl the weight up to the top. Standing tricep extensions. Begin with the weight held straight above the head, keeping the elbows pointing up. Allow the weight to travel behind the head for a full stretch and then return to the starting position at the top.
One, two, go on. Louder then. Keep the volume up.
It's not good enough for you. It's only just standards. Well, I've had enough and now. You can call it what
See him on his
you
face when
like.
he's up there.
It won't make a difference. You can tell me what you think. I still won't care. We can cross the same ground again and again and again. But I'm thinking of myself. You won't win this fight. Call it what you like.
7.
Call it what you like. Call it what you like. No one cares.
Okay, let's give your triceps a bit of a blast now. See that girl, you got 300 workouts, nothing compared to this.
It won't make a difference. You can tell me what you think, and I won't care. We can cross the same ground again and again and again and again. And I'm thinking of myself. You won't win this fight.
5, 6. Good, good. Bang him out, come on.
7, 8.
One more. Done.
You made my future so unclear.
That's the same as those, but with the opposite leg coming
You
up.
make my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear. You feed all pain and misery.
Nice big leg movements.
Emotions that you gave to me. Your ashes poison in a tear.
5. Go on,
You
come back and start
make
again.
my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear. Future so unclear.
Go on, push him out now.
Am I the killer once again?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
My heart says something
7. Keep going. 8. Down. 9.
You make my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear.
Come on, straight.
You make my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear. You make my future so unclear.
1. Keep those elbows in. 2. Good. 3. 5. Go on. Come on.
You broke my heart, you twist my mind.
Come on. Full more.
Made me think thoughts so unkind. You fill my life with pain and fear. You made my future so unclear. 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 You make my future so unclear.
Just one rest.
How many more you got? How many you got next? 3. Yeah. Okay, so 2 more lots. 20 reps.
Welcome to a fork in the road. I don't know which way to go. Walk away from the light somehow. The darkness is always bringing me down. I must face the truth. I must hide from the truth. I must face the truth. I must hide from the truth. What's inside and what's outside, they are not the same. They are not the same. What you see say and what you do not say. They are not the same, they are not.
14 more reps total. Go on.
If you think you can answer the question, prevent the social intoxication, and I've been spinning out of control. It's getting dark and you're all alone. I must face the trail. I must hide from the trail. I must face the trail. I must hide from the trail. What's inside and what's outside, babe? They are not the same. They are not the same. What you see and what you do not see. They are not the same. They are not. What's inside and what's outside, they are not the same, they are not the same. What you say and what you do not say, they are not the same, they are not.
Keep your butt down.
Down.
1.
Yeah. 2, 3. Keep that down. Drop your hips. There. Go on. Control it down unless you're going to smash your elbow. Come on, nearly there. There, Dad. What will it? I'll let you have that.
Oh, you fucker.
Here we are.
Out of memory, this string is finished.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Keep going like that. 9. Good. Keep going. 10, 11. That's good. 12. Good. 13. Keep going. More like that. 14. 1. Go all the way up. 15. Go on. Keep going. 16.
Time to kill my only thrill. Time to kill some more.
17. Good. 18.
Hide your face, cheap disgrace.
Go on, it's
Time
the
to
last
just ignore.
Go on all the way up. 1, 2.
Singled out, there's no doubt. Target every night. Hit me again, and maybe then nothing left to fight. Ain't gonna take this lying down. I'm gonna burn this fucking town. And when I'm drowned, I will take. Then there's no turning back. Oblivious to all of this, cooler in the fucking shade. I'm too fast, you won't last. You know I got it made. Ain't gonna take this lying down. I'm gonna burn this fucking town. And when I'm drowned, I will take. Then there's no turning back.
8.
There'll be no turning back.
9.
You just reached the point of no return. They just might take you away.
10, 11. Keep going like that. 12. Come on.
double five for you.
Ain't gonna take this lying down. I'm gonna burn this fucking town. I went around, I will die. Then there's no turning back. Time to kill my only thrill. Time to kill some more. Hide your face to disgrace. Time to just ignore. Ain't gonna take this lying down. I'm gonna burn this fucking town. I went around, I will take. Then there's no turning back.
Okay, the rose now.
Time to kill my only thrill. Time to kill some more. Hide your face to disgrace. Can't you just ignore? Sing about, there's no doubt. Target every night. And meet again, maybe there's nothing left to fight. Fight.
7, 8,
Oh, shit.
12 more. One, 2, 3. Good. Keep going like that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. 8. Good. 4 more now. 4, 3, 3. Come on. That's it. 2 more.
Come on, Scott.
Good. Last one.
Last one.
All right. Show off them guns.
Oh, fuck.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Even know me,
8,
I don't think you do.
9,
Just a face and a
10,
name.
11,
Came from nowhere. This can go
13,
anywhere.
14, 15,
Reaching out for you,
17,
reaching out for me.
18,
Baby, I know
20,
you're so far away. Inspire
2,
me.
there, keep going,
Baby, I
23, 24, 25. Keep going into step lunges now. Split squats. Okay, 25 on that side. 1,
When I see your faces,
2,
I'm on my own.
3,
Just a face and a name.
5,
Came from
6, all the way up.
nowhere,
7,
going back to nowhere.
8, 9, 10,
Reaching out for you, reaching out for me. Baby, I know
14, 15,
you're so far away.
16,
Inspire me,
17,
baby, I know
19, 20, 5 more now, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap sides. Step back with a half a step.
you and I know
Step
this
back
can't
half a
go
step.
on much longer. You don't ride anymore. I know nothing about you. You got nothing to say. Reaching out for you,
19,
reaching out for me. Baby, I know
16. Don't let the knee drop.
you're so far away.
15,
Inspire me, baby, I know
11, 10, 9,
baby, I know
7, 6, 5, 4,
baby, I know
2, 1. Good. Wide leg, nice wide leg squat. Okay, come on, there's no rest for this now. Okay. 1. Give it more kick. Down.
Different side.
2, that's it. 3. 4. More kick, not girly kick either. 5. Good, keep those toes turned out. 6, that's a girly kick. 7, that's better. 8. 9. 10. Good, keep going, nice and smooth, continuous. 11. 12. Good, keep going like that. Only a few more. 13. No can now. 14. 15. There's 10 more now, that's all. Come on, pump them out. 10 more. Come on, no rest, keep going. 10. Good. 9. Good. 8. Good. 7. Keep going. Come on. 6. 5. 4. Keep going. 3. 2. 1. And rest. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Doc D's a devil man, he's mean hard, don't understand. You're gonna win, you'll fall down, he'll pick you up, throw you around.
Come on, that's about
Doc D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to society.
all the way up, straight.
He's one man killing machine, long diagnosis just to be me.
I'll show you how to pull your technique. I'll show you how to pull
He
your
doesn't care
technique.
about space and sound, there's only concerns with me and well.
I demonstrated it. We did
Doc
take it.
D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to
Get your hands
society.
in closer.
He's been around since
Do
time
another
began,
25
that
and you
fucking
finish
twisted
off your
medical
shoulder
man.
presses.
You're feeling twice as bad,
Oh,
three
we've done
times
another
that
10.
you
No,
never had.
this number 30. And you only got 40 to do
Doc
this.
D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to society. Slow it down.
Come in a bit closer. That's it. Now from there, down and up. 1, 2,
When you're
good.
strapped
Better
into
technique
a
this time. 3,
hospital
4,
bed,
5, 6,
attach the wires
7,
to your head.
10,
Some people think it is unfair.
15,
That bastard
16,
doctor, he doesn't care. Doc D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to society. Doc D's motherfucker of a man, he's mean hard, don't understand. You're gonna win, you're falling down, he'll pick you up, throw you around. Doc D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to society. Doc D does fuck all for you and me. Doc D's a menace to
I've only got
society.
77 minutes of filming left. Okay, hold from the other side, Steve.
Yeah.
Go on, bring them hands in. Bit more. Okay. 1, that's good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, again.
saw the time come.
25 to go. 25 to go. He's done 60 and then 15 there.
When I gave you 5 days, but you wanted more. When I gave you 5 and now I'm giving 4. Taking what I wanted, taking back what's mine. Take a look at what your life's worth. Money can't buy time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 15 more in total. Go on, 1, 2, 1. There's so much we don't get me t-shirts.
But you wanted more. When I gave you 5 and now I'm giving 4. 5 days. 5 days. 5 days. 5 days.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you just kneel down there and just so I can have a look at really good view of your face there?
Hey.
When you're ready. 1, big slams though. 2, that's it. 6, good. Bend your knees as you do it. 7, that's it. Big slam, push down. Tight and 8, good. Keep going like that. 9, 10, good. 11, bend your knees as you go down. Use your whole abdominal core area. 11, keep going. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 7, 38, 39, 40. Go down like that. 41,
Never cruise without my gun.
42,
That much is true.
43,
I keep it close 'cause it's for fun. And motherfuckers like you.
5,
I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna
6,
die, I wanna die, yeah, I wanna die, I wanna die, I
7,
wanna die, I 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 wanna die, yeah, I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna die, yeah. Why? Why fucking me? Yo! Yeah, you motherfucker!
one more and you're over halfway.
Hold it!
8, 9, 10,
Keep pushing yourself, come on.
11,
11, keep going.
12,
Again,
13,
keep going strong.
14,
Again,
15,
15,
16,
go on, you can do it.
17,
I know you ain't inside my head. You're covering my ear.
20, 30 more in total.
See you there, the shadow by your fucking side. I wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, yeah, I wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, I don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die.
Last 25
I wanna
ago.
die, yeah, I wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, yeah.
24,
I don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, yeah, I don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, I don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, yeah, I don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die, don't wanna die. I don't wanna die,
keep
yeah.
going.
Why?
Come on,
Come on, Scott, straight in. 20 to do.
just 20 more. Go on. No guts, no glory. Go on. 20 more.
With your shielder on it. One,
19,
3,
18, 17, 16, 15, 14,
7,
13,
8, 9, 10. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more. Faster. Come on, speed. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 2 more. 1 more. Oh, come on. Oh, oh. Ah! Yes.
Sick, torn anger, it glows in my eyes, so pure, so wild, so delicious. Please don't call me, don't touch my body. It's not too late for excuses.
No, no chance. No, not a chance. Nah,
Paul.
another day.
Is that
another
your
day.
weakest arm?
Yes.
Back all days.
Oh, here we go. Ka-ching.
Oh,
Good.
Oh, effort.
Well done.
Nice.
Tips. So when it comes to competition,
yeah.
I know when you put it on, all that's just ensuring is that stone's went first time.
Yeah.
You're saying when he does this lifting, he's pushing this way and back that way to stop the rotation, yeah?
The hand, the palm, if you put your palm, even if you try pushing your palm against the back of the bell there,
Yeah. Okay.
and even maybe put your finger, your thumb, just so it's like that, that might give you more purchase.
Oh, come on.
That's it, that's it, a lot of the thumb.
Yeah.
It's right comes down to the sort of basically the thumb strength. Because with that, as you see, if you try to pick up like a normal dumbbell,
Yeah.
just the sort of way it's constructed, it's just continuously when it roll
How-
your hand.
How do you train your thumb for strength? I mean, fingers you can use the likes of eagle loops and but
I'll show you how it made the
He's
cards.
just active.
Randall Strausen.
yeah.
I've got these as a gift from Randall Strausen. Also these, now you can also,
Finger press.
Did,
Yeah.
do they come in different grades or are they all
Yeah.
the same?
there, that's the number 4 and that's number 5. They go from 1 up to 7.
Right.
But he said that for like closing number 3, we went to closing number 4. That's the ideal ones
Right.
for closing number 3 anyway for training with.
Yeah.
Now the idea of these also for tighten up your fingers, and also then we close it that way. Also that's number 5. That's how you put hand up. Close it that way, and also then you can use different
Yeah.
closing different ways. You never close these ones with a full hand.
Right.
Just solely for that. And I'll show you all my other grippers of it as well. Yeah, show those.
Yeah.
That way,
There's things, there's things like that. It is simple wee things. Also,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're ringing your pinky finger. I'll show
Maybe
you.
the week. Well, they'll be
I'll
quite.
show you another.
This is a hard one.
No, this is a hard one.
Oh,
This-
that's a hard one.
I've got this made in
That's harder.
Chapman, Illinois. Made this one.
That looks like David Horns.
That's the
Yeah, David
It's
Horns.
similar.
Yeah.
That's called the RP trainer, or ring and pinky
Oh,
trainer. Michael Strasberg, I think is what chap's name is. Now that's the same idea.
Yeah.
Also this can be then put up. This is just an extra
Yeah. A bit more
tension.
resistance. Yeah.
Also it's sitting at a level there that you can easily close.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you sure that? This feels solid, eh? Feels it's a different feel, the spring from
Yeah.
that kind of spring. I think you can do it upside
You
down.
can do that as well, yeah, just the same as the tugs. He made this so that obviously it had a wider range, similar to what David Horn has with
Yeah.
his I don't know, have you ever seen the vaulting gripper?
The what gripper, sorry?
The vaulting gripper.
Only on the forums and David's website.
It was there. This is also the. This is also what they use for bending.
Okay.
That's a hard setting there. That's a hard setting. That's quite a hard setting. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's it, really.
Yeah. You read a lot about things like that on the grip board, like it's double overhand and underhand.
Yeah, that's
and
it for
things like
bending
that.
nails and.
Yeah.
I've got no strength in that at all. I have absolutely no strength in that at all either, anyway. Not the slightest.
That's it. That's the
Is it the
vaulting.
Vulcan, right?
That's the vaulting gripper.
That's a real toughie.
No chance. There you go. You'll do it.
No, maybe not. Oh. In danger.
Because you have different sets for the grippers. You have like your sort of just like a nose set, which is basically when you pick it up
Pick up.
into your hand. It's in fact you pick up with a nose set.
Yeah.
Credit card set where you close it. You can close it with both hands, hold it the credit card between it, and then from there you take that out and then you close it at that point.
Yeah.
There's also the 20mm
Yeah.
close as well. That's when it's sort of what they call monster mash.
Yeah.
You hear about that as well. That's when it's sort of 20mm closure there. And there's also the other grippers. I've got all the
Captain's a crush.
captains.
Yeah.
Hidden behind the flag.
Oh,
because
right.
Chaps have a tendency when they're doing the stones and that,
Aye.
they get tackle over themselves, so it's a stop bit tacky.
Right.
That's it. I've got another board that takes up another 40. I've got everything.
You don't use it, do
I've
you?
got everything
No.
from
No, I've got HGs.
that's everything from the trainer bit to number 4. And I've got everything, beef builders, heavy grips.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Heavy grips.
Yeah, I've got the beef builders. I'll let you see them all.
Yeah.
That's it all back in the boxes just now.
Bloody hell.
What one's that?
That's the one. Now on HGs I've shut the 200.
What's the one? Is it about £140
Sorry?
What's the one rated at? Is it 140?
I can't remember exactly. Because there's some variations, right? Of course, all the range of grippers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
Do
say
they
I
not
can't
do,
shut that one, but I can shut the 200 HG.
So that's it. They've got. There's
In fact, where I
one of the
got
Americans.
that one took, I can nearly get the 250.
Yeah.
I just can't.
That's it. The Americans have got the Americans have got the. This is the. That's the universe. That's the big.
Right.
So that's the 17 too. Good grip on them.
That's
And it doesn't seem to dig in as much as.
no. Well, there's something like the heavy. There's the
Yeah.
heavy grips in there. They're sort of rougher.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
They're the same as yours. These are the same as mine. Yeah.
Also, yeah, there's like the Fat Bastard Barbell Company. They've got two. John Beattie, who owns the Fat Bastard Barbell Company.
Aye.
This is having all my Robert Barabin grippers plus them from him. they're obviously the fanciest grippers I've got because they're all nicely shiny, no finish and all that.
There's no
They're there,
point
they're there at the end there. The quick hand.
Stick to your hand nice.
It's not even to show up as a movement on there, is it?
Right.
These ones sometimes look too good to actually
Aye.
use, they're all nice and shiny.
Yeah, that's a shame to get them chalked up.
That's every gripper there, let's say I've got the Vanco grippers as well,
Mm.
super grippers.
He's loads in there.
They've got like there's different variations of that, like the vice grip, woody vice grip I think it's called.
Mm.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Just with different things, but they call it, I think it's a Vanco Devil's Advocate they call it.
Mm.
It's exactly the same gripper, all they do is they then cut out a wee bit and put in sort of finishes like that one, so it's more, you
Mm.
get more purchase from.
Yeah.
So that's the grip, and there's the things that obviously, like the sort of, that's the handles, like going back to the inch, training for the inch.
Yeah.
There's that's is that? I think it's a 2-inch. That's a 2-inch handle.
Right.
There's another behind you there. You'll see at the bottom of the cable crossover. There's a 2.5-inch
Yeah, that's that one, isn't it?
handle in there.
So when you're training for the likes of the inch, would you start with a handle the same diameter of the inch and work up the weight, or work up a smaller diameter with the inch weight on it? And
Yeah. Well, I went and got that. What
Ask Alex if you
a couple of the guys, what they went and done when they couldn't pick up the inch
Mhm.
and they couldn't pick up the sort of weight with that
Mhm.
or the same weight, what they were doing, just in the power rack with a 2-inch axle, they were just picking up that just at the time, and they worked up to the
Yeah.
point where, well, Scotland was Craig and Brian, they're two wee guys, and they eventually picked up that, held it up for quite a bit. I can't remember the exact timings that they went and got, but they went and practiced. What they trained on, just the axle, picking up like that, just having it in there, just got it in the centre,
Just want to
and
get
just
this
stood
for
it like that to the point where they eventually must have
my
picked up
partner.
maybe inch. Everybody's got a different ways of training.
Yeah.
What's the ball ended one for then? Is that just pure?
Again, that's
snap
just
grip?
that's just the here I'm talking about like sort of the, some people call that the baseball dumbbell.
Yeah.
Pullum Sports sell that, something similar called, what do they call it? Is it the bomb grip or the bomb dumbbell? A lot of things in America, it's like that. They call them bombs. It's just like a baseball with screw in it.
Yeah.
Or I think Ironman, they also sell like a sort of black baseball with a sort of just an iron in it. You can put a wooden pin on it.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's just a variation, just to what your grip different.
Yeah.
You got your dinny rings over there as well.
That's it. The dinner rings are in
Oh,
there.
Let's go
that
straight
was
to
so much pain yesterday. Unbelievable.
Well, I was earlier on today. I was myself and another couple of boys. Well, my brother, the boy John Neal, that trained here. We went to Pitlochry getting a couple of cabers with the Forestry Commission to cut them for us. Now, it took 3 of us. This one, about 18 foot long. Took 3 of us to lift this and carry it out and to put it onto the back of a pickup. That was it. So we've got to dry out a wee bit when they're fresh.
Yeah.
Well, this had been wind blowing, but even that, it dries out to a point, but it was still heavy. So we went and put them at the local, my relations farm, put them in there among the sheds to dry out. So hopefully in a week, test it in a week again, see what they're like, and then we'll get the bark, to strip the bark off them, and finish the side off, the end off for obviously picking up, and hopefully be able to get the phone soon.
Do you still compete, or are you?
Everything's been like, we're getting this place up and running, and also as you can see, also things are, this place was virtually, you couldn't really train it before the amount of stuff that was in it.
Yeah.
We were all in this area basically. So when people were doing the stones, we were selling stuff in here, eventually moved it out. Let's say there's not a city farmers, so they'll take up a bit of space. But we've got these constructed so they can actually be stored on their end.
Right.
Now, the big tyre that went in the back
Did you
behind
get
the
it
red logs, it's a big huge tyre, it's 550 kilos. Now, it sits there, there's only myself that can get off the ground, so it's taking up a lot of space. It's taking a lot of space. That one there, that's 420 kilos.
It's 420.
It's about 420, yeah. That's, when you see World's Strongest Man, Britain's Strongest Man. But I mean, told Britain's Strongest Man this year, they used smaller tyre. They only use 23.5s. That's a
Do you know,
26.5.
you sort of look at it when you're watching them do it, and you don't sort of realise that you think that there's more of a grip there, but there
Right.
is
No.
it's
They were complaining on
It's
one of the
chamfered, isn't
competitions
it?
because there was no grip on.
Yeah.
They couldn't get any purchase underneath it at all. They were lifting them from a flat side basically. Can't remember what
This year
competition.
at Britain's Strongest Man, they let them use tacky. Now, tacky is usually a no-go in the tyres. But let them use tacky again, because boys were complaining about the slittiness of them.
Right.
But again,
Back that way.
push
Yeah.
back, yeah.
That way.
Yeah. Because when you get it up, obviously it's like the weightlifting. If you keep your elbows high, it's basically a lesser distance.
Yeah.
Especially if you're push pressing, it means you've got lesser distance to push it. Whereas if you're pushing from here, your elbows got to come from here up to here. So it's just like sort of weightlifting. If you think in that respect, keep your elbows high. It's a lesser distance to push it.
Go on, I did that with 67.
I'm set of 100, Scott.
Good point, Al.
Let's put a little bit of weight on there and get it in this thing.
So you can load up to whatever you want.
No, you're going to lift it.
I want to cook his studies first.
You go get me that other strap in, I take care.
Oh, so you've got a good technique with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted to start doing this push pressing and stuff like that. Want one of these, definitely.
Always a glutton.
But I've got to let my ATP still rest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what's the most that they're using with this now?
The most for that in competitions, the strongest one, Scotland's strongest one, let's say that competition that was what we putting on, it would have been those logs weighted up, they weigh 80 kilograms as they are.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same spec as these ones, but you'll notice at the end, loading pins are basically straightened tube, which means it's just a piece of flat bar inside them. But whereas they're actually solid steel rod,
Right.
so hence the reason they're just a wee bit heavier.
Right.
I would have them load up to 125 kilograms for repetitions from the ground above the head, 75 seconds, as many repetitions as possible. And that's a weight that's basically a par what they're using in the strongest one. Just for reps. Because they're looking for lots of reps. They do occasionally go for maximum weight as well, but again, go for maximum weight in 30 anyway isn't really good, plus it takes longer.
Ah.
Yeah. What's that? Is that 57k?
57.5, I think you'll be good for the big one now.
Really?
Yeah, well, near enough it.
What's
Near
that?
enough
That's
it. You might find that, if you get up to your chest, you might find that's easier to press than that one.
I'll have a
The
go
reason
then.
being because, obviously, it's, your hands will be higher off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So if you must keep your same technique, keep your elbows high, you may find that a little over your head.
Couple of minutes, get me out right down. Come on, somebody else has got time to
Oh,
go.
he's belted up there.
Al?
Oh, no. Honestly. So. I'm burned out with the past couple of days. You guys.
You put a belt on.
That's just keep my trousers up.
We have the world's smallest sort of thing.
Yes.
That's it. That's with that one, obviously, with that one you've got to sit. You've got to lean back and make more of a sort of shelf of your.
Yeah.
You've got to sit back
I
also
could
because of the
feel
circumference.
it more there.
Yeah.
This having to work more
Aye.
just to hold it.
That's it, really, you know, keep your elbows high, that sort of makes a sort of shelf of your sort of upper chest and your shoulders. Especially if you're doing it for repetitions, that's what you need to do. If you're doing it for repetitions to the ground, so when you do get to there, it allows you to rest a wee bit. If you manage to get sitting there.
Yeah.
Same with the weightlifting, if you're doing weightlifting, same with the bar, maybe the bar sort of twists their shoulders, twists their neck there. Also, it's the shoulders, it's the body that's taking the weight. If you're getting sitting on your body, when you jump up that heavy, jumping up, that the body alone, if you imagine sitting that along there, if you were jumping, that should come up off your shoulders. So it's the same kind of thing, if you were sitting on your body, it's your body that's moving it, rather than your arms, and that's so then you get momentum. This is your arms carrying the remainder of the momentum, just like the weightlifting.
We'll have another go. We'll have to have 5 minutes rest.
So once you get up to your shoulder, make sure your elbows are quite high.
So try and push.
Keep your elbows high, lean back a wee
Lean
bit.
back.
Yeah.
That's probably what I wasn't doing. I was trying to stay.
No, that's it, you have to lean back.
Yeah.
So you got it in your body, and then just sort of think about jumping up, pushing your hands back at the same time.
Sweating.
Don't forget to wipe the chalk off nicely afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sweating with
Anticipation.
yes,
Total fear.
nerves.
Don't spill that in my car.
Keep your elbows high.
That's where I'm weak. I feel like my legs can do it,
Aye.
but my shoulders
You know, your elbows are way down as well.
are still down.
Yeah, but you want to treat it like an Olympic before you're pushing your elbows
Yeah.
right up here before you start.
I'll try it with that, with it being smaller. I'll put a little bit more on this.
Keep it going.
I can feel. When I was lifting the bins yesterday, I can feel that stuff. I'm doing that second lift. That's my excuse.
If you're all down the other.
Yeah, don't need to complete, there's only a couple of kilos lighter than me.
They feel a hell of a lot better weighted than
Better
Bolts.
balanced than yours.
miles better balance.
Yeah.
There's another one with the bottles are feel heavier at the back.
Yeah.
And they
Also,
seem
they're narrow
to.
at the front, so they'll be all
Little baby steps. Go on, Scott.
good. Things like that, when the weight gets heavier, as it gets heavier, when you get momentum, it starts going. And the last thing you want to do is actually to sort of stop still. Because the momentum will still go, and eventually it'll, once they drop down, and that's when you end up injuring yourself or you're into a bike, and abrasions down the back of your neck. It's easy enough. Easy. That's what we're moving with the yoke too. That's like you're doing your, it's like sort of small quick steps. Same with the farmers walking that. So we take too big a step, what's in you then, don't put yourself off balance like that. And last thing you want to do that, you'll see some people on the TV doing it, they try and go too quick, too big a step, and it starts like that. Once it hits the ground, they're all over the shop.
Yeah, you see like the likes of Maris and stuff, they take the very quick small steps. Well, when I've watched it. Haven't been able to watch it for a year or so.
Slipping back.
Also, you might find also it's things like also with clothing, if you've got like too many layers of clothing on,
Yeah.
also it'll slice you.
Is that the height they're lifting
The
now?
Britain's on this man, we're also on this man,
Yeah.
That's the first one goes up to there,
A little
that's
bit
at the height of
further
the
around
last
that
one.
corner.
Even, what's
Then
his
you
name?
can get sort of
What's the little
facial
one?
expressions.
Yeah.
Sort of down
Short,
there.
Yeah.
short Polish guy.
Yeah.
Like short to the personality.
Dimmick.
Is it Dimmick?
Dimmick.
You would Yannick Dimmick, he's him and
Well, who's the guy that was doing the, used to do the step with huge great big platform?
well, used to have in Britain used to have Andy Rain Stumpy, he used to do all that. Most of the guys, well, the smaller guys always put the higher Spice Girl boots on.
Take your watch off. Yeah.
Fuck do you
The
like that?
technique for this, if you think about a stiff leg deadlift, think about a stiff leg deadlift. Obviously being round, you want to get to the right in the centre. Too far forward, it'll spin back. Too far back, it'll roll forward.
Yeah.
Especially notice it when you start lifting the bigger stones. So you think about it, same as the deadlift, you try to keep your arms straight and just lift up. And again, this is just my technique. So from there, you go to the top of it, right in the middle, get it onto your hands, and from there, place it like that onto your knees.
Okay.
So your hands don't move, and from there, what I do is basically point my fingers down the way, so my elbows come up higher. Obviously you can see with the smaller stone, it's not coming in contact with my arms. The bigger ones obviously come in contact right with my arms, right on top of my chest. From there, you stand up to your hands. You only move once. So as you under that, just think about a stiff line deadlift. Keep your arms straight because they just think about its hooks. You really press in, lift it onto your knees and just sit back. And from there, just point your hands down the way, point your fingers down the way up because your elbows to come up high. Pull it in tight and stand up. Also, if you keep your elbows high, it means it comes out of the body easier. Also, the widest part, you're looking for that to be sort of about the solar plexus. That's it, roll into your hands.
You see that roll, if it's not central pain, it's
Yeah.
rolling forwards. And it doesn't actually look like.
Good.
Go on, stop.
Oh yes.
That's it, from there, just pull it tight right into you. That's it, do it, pull it in tight.
Oh, need danger. Fuck. That's difficult.
Be a while until it stands in there.
Good.
Yes.
Good. That's
on,
it.
up.
Use it, Sam. That's it. It's on. It's on. It's there. It's on.
Oh yes! Easy. Fucking hell. That's a rush. Bastard.
Got it this time.
Good.
That's made my holiday. Not move at 90. Bloody hell.
That's it. Obviously, the stones get bigger.
Hey.
More of your body will come in contact with them.
Yeah,
When
I
you're
had
on your
to,
knees, more of your arms, your forearms will come in contact.
yeah, I had, sort of had to do that
Yeah.
to get that, what you said,
Yeah.
feeling it there, and then obviously pulling
Yeah.
against
What I
the...
try to do, get even with the guys doing the smaller ones, I'm trying to get them to just slowly use their hands to push against it.
Yeah,
So if you're starting that to start with, because the stones get bigger if you're practicing that kind of technique all the time,
yeah,
when it comes to bigger stones, you're not going to have that same purchase, so it's going to be like learning all over again.
yeah,
You're going to have to use more different techniques, because we start that kind of technique right from the start, you're using that same technique all the way through.
yeah.
So that's it. That was good. And the only difference obviously at the shoulder of the stone, when you pick up onto your knees, and from there, lifting it up, you're looking basically just to continue
That's
that.
one. Definitely for the UK Master.
That is going on that first side now.
That's got to go on UK Master, that one.
Fuck it, I'm going to have a go at 90. Just to see if I can, you know,
Just
get
to
into
make-
that squat position.
Thing with these mats also, it protects also
You've
the
got
stones.
plywood underneath the rubber, or just rubber?
And all these are rubber mats. The reason I put them out is because when they were all rolled up, the smell in here, just with the concentration, because it gets hot in the summer,
Okay.
I had to put them out to try and lay them out to aerate the place with it.
So when you're dropping stuff on this concrete floor, how do you get?
Oh no, no, never brought any of the concrete floor.
No, with rubber on it.
Yeah, no, under here.
Right, yeah. Right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you've got a sheet of ply,
yeah.
and then these mats. Is that
Yeah.
or you?
Yeah, we've got to put these mats there also for extra sponge, but again, it's a wee bit, it makes your, works your stability a bit more,
Yeah.
because they're sort of spongy.
But when you're dropping these back down, it's not doing any damage. It hasn't.
No.
You haven't noticed it. And
No.
the
No,
single
because
sheet
that,
has
when I
been-
drop on that, that's sort of absorbing it.
Is that what
in the
you've
rubber.
always used on this, or for dropping these?
No. In the past on concrete floors, even just used pure rubber mats.
Yeah, and that's enough.
Again, depends. In a bigger area, dropping that stone like that onto pure rubber mats, you can hardly hear it. So it doesn't sound it in here.
Yeah.
It's more constant, more echoey.
Yeah, well, it wasn't noise. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of damage on the floor. But
Yeah.
it's still around.
No. Because that takes quite a lot of shock out the stone anyway, and the rubber absorbs the rest
Yeah.
with the plywood.
But you can get away with the ply and that shit rubber and
Yeah.
still drop 90 kilos
Yeah.
without doing anything.
That's how I put these mats out. These will eventually be sort of spaced out
Yeah.
over the majority of the floor.
Yeah.
They're 3 thick just now.
And where did you get this? Or what?
If you went to my website, there's carpet pack.
Look on what website? Yours?
Yeah, you went to personalman.com.
Yeah.
If you look in the links, carpet pack, that's where I got it from. In fact, I didn't know about the carpet on it.
I'll look on the site because I won't remember
If you
everything.
contact them and also say that.
Excellent. Just.
If towards the site of that, they might get some discount. These ones are actually cheaper than there's a company Gym Rats.
Yeah,
Same
I've
mats.
seen that.
Virtually exactly the same as these.
Is it?
Carpet pack, they're virtually identical, and these are a lot cheaper. Carpet pack are a lot cheaper. Now, these are also used for in horse boxes and stuff like that. They're actually supposed to be, that's the way they're supposed to be
The
up.
drainage and the.
Yeah, that's supposed to be onto the bottom,
Yeah.
but all gyms have them
Yeah.
up this way for obvious reasons, so it's not very comfy. Walking around the bottles.
Mind you, I might make them upside down so people just come in and do their workout and piss off. So my new partner's got 2 saunas and a solarium, and we've been donated this huge great big hydro massage thing.
Yeah.
So we've had to find extra space for these things, and I don't want it to be that nice. I want people to come in, work out,
Aye.
go. You know, but we'll see what happens with that.
So we can try to keep your arms as straight as possible.
Yep.
Just think about deadlifting it up.
Yeah. Okay. No. No, that's it. Hamstrings are battered.
I'm not just going to do this.
What's it like?
Oh, you've got it.
Good.
Yeah,
Go on,
come on.
Paul.
Good.
Go on, Paul. Good effort. You lifted that, what, easy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take 100. I could take 100 up there, no problem. But I couldn't do anything from it from there.
What, from the squat?
Yeah, but I can't lift
You
with
need.
my knee. There must be another technique for it then.
Well, you lap it, and then Cookie will take it off your lap.
Which is the 80, that one.
That's
But that's
it,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
That 10 kilos felt a huge difference.
Yeah, but I wonder if I could give it a clean all the way to my chest from there without stopping at my knees.
Yeah, that's. If you feel you can keep going.
Oh, bloody hell, my abs are starting to spasm. Yeah, stupid.
Come on, Paul. You know you want to. You want to take your watch off?
That's only a 10-year thing from.
Yeah, but I'm gripping. I'm digging into your
No,
arm.
because it gives me my suntan mark. Oh, my back's hurting me now. Have we got anything more to do? We come back to this in a minute. Because after 10 minutes of resting, it eased up a little bit. You want to try the tyre, your rope?
No, I took. I'm done.
Alright, so I'll go with this then.
See how there, Nigel. Oh yeah, right, so.
Come on, Scott. Don't let this English guy beat you.
Good.
Oh yes.
That's it. Right up on the wall this time.
Come on.
Go on, Scott.
See it?
Go on. Oh, yes. Yes.
Well done.
The rest will make it look easier than that.
There you go. Fuck technique.
At the end of the day, as long as it wasn't top, that's the main thing, that's it.
I mean, I heard everything you said to me. Just give me. So when you're doing these, when you're training somebody for it, do you have them doing the full lot, or is it just keep practicing up and down?
What we do, let's say for yourselves, how we doing that,
Yeah.
on the rear rest, doing it again, and trying to have you do 5 reps with that. Because most competitions are 5 stones other than, well, there's a lot of competitions now that are doing 6 stones now.
Yeah.
So we do that 5 times, or a rest. The following training session we're doing it the following week, where we do 5 again, but try and have you do them a bit quicker without a smaller break.
Yeah.
To the point where you can virtually eventually, with that, put it on the wall, drop it off, pick it back up 5 times. Once you can do that 5 times as quick as that, with the 190, I thought it's 190, with the 90 kilo setup, I have to try and do that once. Right, so we do that 5 times, until we try and do that the once. Following training session, until we do 4 reps with the 80, 2 reps with the 90. Following session, 3 reps with the 80, 3 reps with the 90. And 2 with the 80, 4 with the 90, 1 with the 80, 5 with the 90. And once you've done that, as quick as before, we then put that 100 in. How we do 1 with the 80, 5 with the 90, 1 with the 100. And then, well, Paul, that's it, build it tight to yourself.
Go on, Paul. Come on, Paul. Go
Good,
on,
good.
let's
Yes,
go.
come on.
Easy, easy.
Oh, oh.
Well done. And you just do that, so you're at the 100, then you do 1 with the 80, next session it will be 4 with the 90,
I couldn't let you do that.
and again, so eventually we'll come down and do 1 with the 80, 1 with 90, 5 with the 100,
Yeah.
and then you do 110, you get to
Well, what I
110.
couldn't do,
So you do
Yeah,
5
there
reps,
is,
it's
you
slow,
manage
it's
it.
slow, so it's gradual, so it takes
I'm
time.
like at a half
Yeah.
stop,
You can do it quicker.
and I can get
Now
up.
if you'd say like you've done 5 with the 80, right, we'll try and do next week, we'll try and do 5 with the 90. You can do it as quickly as that, depending how you were looking.
But
But
you're
that's-
constantly
yeah.
looking to
That's
teach
progression, it's easier,
success.
yeah, it's
Success.
easier progression, so each
I
time
think,
you're virtually doing
without
as
the
many,
bank,
it's virtually the
probably
same
do 100
repetitions.
today.
Apart from each stone, you're
Apart
going to
from
add
the
additional
50.
repetition each time, each additional
Well, I
stone.
should-
Yeah.
You do that, and eventually you get to the point where you'll be doing 1 with 100. Also, you end up starting to get the shoulder ones, the shoulder and the lighter ones as well
Yeah.
as all this training.
Hang on a second there.
So we do the 100, so the 80 shoulder, the 90, the 100,
Just make out the 80.
the 110, the 120. And again, as time goes on, it would then be the 90, the 100, 110, 120, 130, then the 100, 110, 120. Then from there, then you go with like 110 and jump up,
Yeah.
up the weights.
We just got to show.
Yeah.
I want that as well. I want that for life. And my mate as well.
Oh, Tuesday now. I don't know how to do replay.
it's okay,
I'll show later.
yeah.
See, it was out, okay.
So that's the simplest way for it, obviously. Slowly building progression to the stones,
Yeah,
but making it as easy.
it's possible.
Yeah, so you're continually getting stronger, but it's
If I can do
you're keeping, you're basically continually
do
working
an
the
80.
body,
Yeah.
or keeping the body fresh. We're doing it sort of, you're getting a warmer.
If we were doing like a novice strongman,
Yeah.
what would the maximum weight be that I'd be looking at sticking up on there?
The
If
the
we're doing
maximum,
under 105 or whatever it is.
under 105s, they go up to 140. They actually had this year, I wasn't promoting it this year, but they didn't put up to the last one they put over was a 160. But what they had it on the yoke lifting it over the yoke. There was only one guy who went and completed it.
Right.
Basically lifting the stones up over the top of the yoke. First timers competition that we put in last year, the maximum weight was 120 kilos. It started off at 80.
I could always do a reps for, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I go two
That's a good one, yeah.
and reps 4. So all I need is a space like that. One person this side, one person the other
Yeah.
side, sticking them up on a.
So all I've got to do now is put 5 stone on.
That's, I think that actually, I think that's the whole, that's 2
sheets of plastic.
Yeah, that's about 213 ply. The frame.
So it's 5:40 on Wednesday morning, and we've finished our trip. We've had some good filming. We've met some very friendly and very nice people, and we're heading back down to Steve back and then off to London and Portugal. Hopefully we can get this video edited and things on their way soon. Later on we'll be discussing the points of the trip, and we'll see you soon. 6:44, it's mile to the English border. And things are going well. Traffic-wise, nothing on the road so far, but it is still early. Some fantastic views of the coastline. Even though the weather's a little bit inclement still. No sign of a just down the road. Should be there for breakfast. After the calories we burnt up yesterday, I think they're much needed.
Would you say you're tired?
I'm exhausted rather than tired. I think the services are just up the road we need to go.
Right then.
Alright, well, it's
Just had breakfast. Spent 2 days filming this DVD. So do you want to give us a rough breakdown of how the routine runs and why it runs the way that it does?
Well, let's run through what we did over the few days that we've been filming. Because of Al, we've had a go at the dinny stones, the dinny rings and the stones. And our first day of lifting there, which will be probably on a short DVD, just showing the lifts and the techniques for doing the lifts. And a little bit of mucking about with some strongman type things, some stone lifting and some other bits and pieces that we did while we were there. Day 2 saw us start with the premise for our base routine, which entails a 3-day full body routine, working on a 5x5 full body routine on our first day. This is looking at strength and power and trying to fire up the fast twitch muscles and build some size and strength into them. Normally on a rest day or 2, you can either use an active recovery or a complete rest. Day 2 of our exercise plan is a body weight workout. Now, as a mildly experienced athlete, you should be looking at training. We train on what we call a 100 rep workout system. So we train each body part one time for 100 reps. So if it's press ups, we'll do 100 reps of press ups. If it's pull ups, we'll do 100 reps of pull ups. You can take as many breaks as you need, but you need to do it as quickly as you can. For example, with something like the squats, you could probably do them in 1 or maybe 2 full sets of 100 or of 50. With other, it's actually off. It's off now. With other routines, for something like the shoulders, you may, as you're starting to tie, you may only get 5 or 10 reps per set of push-ups, shoulder presses going. And day 3 sees us doing our plyometric routine. This is, as a third day, this is reintroducing some fibres from both 2 days and trying to put some explosive power into the base of the routine. So to recap, or to explain more clearly, the 5x5 routine, we can use any number of compound exercises. For example, we can use a bench press for chest, or we can use weighted dips for chest.
But it's always just one exercise per body part.
Yeah. And even weighted push-ups, if you're stuck for space, there's nothing wrong with doing standard push-ups and adding as much weight as you can. The idea with the 5x5 is to be on each set of 5 reps. You should be really struggling and feeling it tight on the last rep of each set, and really and truthfully, by the time you get to set 5, you may need some assistance, or you may need to use something like rest pause to get the exercise done. You need to be looking at using a weight that only allows you to do that in as strict a form as possible. There is a little bit of leeway on how strict you go on the form on the last set as you go through it, which is why we talk about assistance and things like that.
Are you looking to use the same weight per set, or increase the weight on each set?
You can do it either way. I know what weight I can use, and if you actually look at it with a 1 minute rest period in between each exercise, you can start at your trigger weight. I mean, obviously this doesn't include any warm-up set that you may want to do. Again, if we look at chest presses, if you do a warm-up set of either press-ups or light bench presses, that's okay. Then as you go into the sets, you pick a weight that you know you are going to really be struggling with on the last set particularly, but you're going to be really getting towards a slight struggle, maybe a very slight loss of form on the last exercise in a set. You can use big compound movements. You can use cleans and presses if you want to. For shoulders, you can use a hang clean to push press. You can use a military press. You could use a dumbbell press or an Arnold press. But just one exercise and one group, and you have to be lifting it heavily. For example, if I was to do a shoulder press, I can comfortably do 20 kilo dumbbell presses for 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 10, 12 reps. When I'm aiming for my 5x5, I'm looking at something like a 30 kilo dumbbell, where I'm possibly going to need very slight assistance on the last rep of a set, and really and truthfully my 5th set is a real struggle from the very first thing. We are looking to keep the form strict, but we are looking to be so exhausted from that and recruiting as many muscle fibres as possible in the workout.
So if you're going to use a clean and press, would you use the clean and press to say cover back and shoulders?
I tend not to, because in a clean and press you're bringing in traps and delts to a degree, and then triceps. I reckon the mid back is not getting any exercise, so you still need to look at an exercise like the bent over row that we did in the video to activate the back more comprehensively. If you were doing legs, for example, you through the course of the whole 4 or 6 week routine, you could look at changing perhaps from a squat on 1 week or 2 weeks into something like a deadlift, where you are still incorporating a bit of lower back into the work and trap work. But that won't be detrimental to the whole overall effect. And we're not, because we're only doing one set of these as a 5x5 routine, we're not looking at overtraining. It'd be very unlikely for anyone to come into an overtraining period working the 5x5s or the bodyweight only parts of the routine. With the plyometric day, then we are possibly getting towards possible overtraining if you were to go into, say, week 6 or week 7 of a routine like this. But you have to listen to your body, and when we're talking about a 3-day-a-week routine with any of these things, we are looking at it over any period of time. So if you do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine, that's great. You could do a Monday with your 5x5, a Wednesday with your body weight, and a Friday with your plyometrics. But the following week you may be tired, work might get in the way. There's no reason why you can't do the Monday again as your 5x5 routine. Leave if you're struck for time, you could possibly end up doing your bodyweight routine on the Friday, which means that you've only done 2 workouts that week, and then you start again in the third week with whatever day you can fit your exercise in to going into the plyometrics. It allows you to do this quite comprehensively.
So people have got to understand you don't have to do it 3 days a week.
It's not, though we list it as a 3-day a week, and it's very possible. I mean, I have clients that do this routine regularly now. Are training comfortably, doing this routine as a 3-day-a-week routine for a 4-week period, without any sign of overtraining at all. This is a guy that's between 20 and 30 years old. Recovery is still relatively clear and relatively okay, and he's seeing the results from it.
But definitely people that are either new to exercise or new to the system
Have
could
much more,
break
be
into
able,
it steadily.
The thing is, if you have a beginner in training, their intensity levels, when I'm talking about the 5x5 for example, their perception of the intensity levels is always going to be less anyway, so they're not really coming into a point where they are risking overtraining because of intensity.
So the same thing with the beginners as well. With the bodyweight series, they could actually start at less reps and each week increase the reps so that they get used to it and understand what the intensity feels like.
Depending on their ability, they could either start that way or still aim for the 100 reps, because they start. Well, if you aim for a 100 rep workout, you can increase your rest periods. In the video, we have Scott training press-ups. Now, with the press-up routine that we did a variation on press-ups all the way through the routine. So he did 10 reps of 10 different exercises. We used him with very, very short rest breaks, just as long as it was enough time for him to get his breath back and start training again afterwards. With somebody who is possibly more strong or more endurance based on their chest, they could run out 4 25 rep sets, or a set of 30, a set of 20, a set of 10, etc., etc. So all of that is possible within it, but the target is still to do 100 reps. Even if you're doing 100 1-rep sets of something like the inverted shoulder press, for example, that is still possible. Your target should be that. If you miss out and you can only do 70 because of time constraints, or because you just physically are unable to do any more than that, then you should be looking at stopping there. You don't want to get into the point of causing injury through excessive workouts or excessive cheating on an exercise within the routine. And that really covers the body weight side of things. You'll see on the video that we have, certainly with the press-ups, with this particular workout, we've done 10 different sets of push-ups. With the pull-ups, for example, we could do wide grip, narrow grip, reverse grip, plyometric. I prefer not to do behind the neck pull-ups, but even some people in the gym that I train at the moment are very keen to do behind the necks. I personally think they're not very good, and you don't get a full range of motion, and you can injure yourself. But there are other, we can use towel pull-ups, we could use owl's rope to do pull-ups. There are masses and masses of variations where you can improve your grip to do the pull-ups and to change it around. As long as you do 100 pull-ups, then you're fine.
So what we're looking at with the entire system is that they don't have to continually look at doing the exercises that we've done they're just a basic layout to get across how to do the system,
Exactly.
and it gives them free will to do the exercise that they choose.
With the 5x5, for example, you want to avoid isolation exercises. I see a lot of people in the gyms these days will go in to do shoulders, for example, who have not got a big base of compound, a size of muscle all around, and spend all their time isolating the lateral, the medial heads, whereas they need to be working the whole of the compound, the whole of the deltoid, the rotator cuffs, and things like that. And the compound exercises are what produce that type of work and exercise. Dumbbells, again, improve on the isolation. If you haven't got a dumbbell, then use a barbell or a kettlebell. Kettlebells are good as well. You could do this whole 5x5 routine using just kettlebell exercises, for example. Then plyometric day, we are looking at firing up and looking at explosive power. Now, when we say the plyometric day, we're using that as a loose term. There are some exercises there that are based around core perceptions or perceptions of increasing core strength, and some old time lifts, which again are there to, again, going back to the 5x5, sorry, we did a pullover and press on this routine. Pullover and press is off the floor is an exercise that the old time strongmen used to use when they didn't have benches available to them, where you pulled the weight over your head in a bent arm pullover fashion and then pressed it straight to the chest. A great exercise, and one that is very often overlooked in terms of training. But plyometric day, going back to that, we've looked at many variations of exercises that are possible. One with kettlebells, the kettlebell swings, the cleans, the hang clean, the dumbbell clean to side press, which is a variation of two exercises which incorporates more power in the core area. And again, the idea here with this video, with this DVD, we could have gone on and shown more and more exercises. We're trying to highlight the system here. In later DVDs, we will certainly look at proper techniques in the gym for dumbbells and barbells for the 5x5s. We will look at many more variations on plyometric exercises and also on free weight exercises. We've covered a lot there. We also, through the course of this DVD, have looked at ring training with the rings, and we have shown a routine covering the upper body in many ways. So we've looked at dips, we've looked at inverted rows, we've looked at upside down rows, and many other things there. The gymnastic rings are something that are very important for people to look at within their training. We have looked at what else have we done? We've done so much. We also have a bit where we went down to or over to Perth Strongman, and we've had a chance to do some strongman training there. We have some farmers walk footage. We have some
Atlas stones,
Atlas stone footage,
log press,
and some other little bits and pieces there, which will also go onto the DVD as a bonus feature to show you what is possible at whatever size and shape you are. So I hope that covers things. We have also covered a basic stretching routine, which is something that people should be looking at on a daily basis. And so if not on a daily basis, at least on a training basis.
Definitely.
Now these stretches should be completed after a workout, not before a workout. Unfortunately, at this stage we haven't had time to film the warm-up routine, but hopefully we'll have that covered and put on the DVD by the time this goes to print on the DVD. We've also looked briefly at PNF stretches, and we have a small video clip explaining the hamstring and the abductor stretches in PNF fashion. And that really sums it up, I think. Anything you have to add, Steve?
No, not really, just that I'm absolutely exhausted.
Right.
Hurting from head to foot.
Okay, Okay, we've just got up to Scotch Corner, which is very, very close to where Steve lives, so we'll be signing off shortly. I hope you enjoy the videos.
Thank you.
Hang on, I'm going to need someone to hold this up while I get underneath it.
Do you want to do it, Scott? I've got it.
What do you need? I need someone to hold this there. Oh, no. It's a weird feeling.
You're not going to do it?
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm recording.
Yeah, okay. No.
Right, I've an idea.
I can't breathe.
And down.
That was so easy.
Is you recording?
You get up again.
No.
I'll stick it on there.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
That's brilliant.
That's fun.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, no.
Oh.